Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating biological mechanics of routine blood work, and we're going to try to solve the mystery behind your fatigue. We're decoding a condition that affects literally billions of people, yet it's so often misunderstood.
So, let me ask you, have you been feeling unusually exhausted lately? Look, we all get tired, right? Between work, family, and just keeping up with the modern world, feeling wiped out seems totally normal. But it's absolutely crucial to know when it's just a busy life and when it's your body trying to tell you something much more serious. Are you just sleepy, or are your cells literally starving for oxygen?
Okay, let's dive into this by looking at the sheer scale of the issue. Globally, 1 in 3 people are affected by anemia. That's over 1 billion people worldwide. To put that into perspective, that includes an estimated 3 million in the US alone. This isn't some rare, obscure condition. It's a massive exhaustion epidemic, and it's highly likely affecting someone you know, or maybe even you.
To really understand what's happening to make you so tired, we first need to establish exactly what anemia is at a cellular level. Simply put, anemia is a blood disorder that kicks in when you don't have enough healthy red blood cells, or, well, maybe those cells just aren't working right. Since red blood cells are basically the cargo ships that deliver oxygen to your body's tissues, a shortage means your entire system is just running on fumes.
And right at the heart of those cellular cargo ships is a protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the essential, iron-rich component inside the cell that physically binds to the oxygen in your lungs and carries it away. It's pretty straightforward. Without enough iron, your body can't synthesize enough hemoglobin. No iron, no hemoglobin. No hemoglobin, no oxygen delivery.
Now, as you can see, a healthy, fully functioning red blood cell is plump, robust, and packed with hemoglobin. This little guy efficiently delivers life-giving oxygen everywhere, from your brain, keeping you mentally sharp, all the way down to the muscles in your toes, giving you the physical stamina to actually get through the day.
But when you're anemic, your cells might look a lot more like this one. When deprived of iron, the cell becomes small, pale, and weak. It's really struggling to keep your body fueled. It simply lacks the structural capacity to grab onto oxygen and transport it. Honestly, it's like trying to deliver a massive national shipment with a fleet of broken-down pickup trucks instead of heavy-duty freighters.
This lack of oxygen triggers a fascinating, and honestly sometimes bizarre, array of symptoms. The most obvious one is overwhelming fatigue and weakness, usually accompanied by dizziness and shortness of breath. But the body reacts in strange ways when it's desperate. You might experience pulsatile tinnitus, which is a literal whooshing sound in your ears that beats in time with your heart. Or you might develop pica, which is this intense craving to eat non-food items like dirt, clay, or ice. You might also notice your skin getting pale and your nails becoming really brittle.
Now, here is the absolutely crucial point. Anemia isn't actually a standalone disease. As clinical guidelines emphatically point out, anemia is a massive biological red flag, pointing to an underlying issue. It's a clinical symptom. Treating the anemia without finding out why you're anemic, that's like turning off a fire alarm without ever looking for the fire.
Let's move to Section 1, the body's iron vault.
We're going to move below the surface and see how this builds into an incredible, hidden defensive mechanism inside you. Because sometimes the lack of iron in your blood isn't an accident at all. It's a calculated move by your own body. See, we generally think of anemia as iron deficiency anemia, or IDA, where your body simply lacks the dietary iron to make hemoglobin. But there's another kind, anemia of chronic disease, or ACD. In this scenario, your body actually has plenty of iron, but your immune system intentionally locks it away and hides it in response to an infection or chronic inflammation.
Think of your body as a heavily fortified castle. Iron is your greatest biological treasure, but it's also highly prized by invading pathogens like bacteria and parasites. They need it to survive and replicate. So when an infection enters the body, your immune system releases chemical alarm signals called cytokines. These alarms trigger a brilliant, ruthless defense protocol. The body scoops up all the free-floating iron circulating in your blood and locks it securely in an internal cellular vault. By locking away the treasure, you literally starve the invaders of the iron they desperately need to multiply. It's a stunning biological irony. Your own body intentionally induces anemia to save your life.
That biological vault actually has a name, ferritin. Ferritin is a protein inside your cells that stores iron and releases it in a highly controlled fashion.
During an acute phase response to an infection or chronic inflammation, your ferritin levels absolutely skyrocket. Your body is basically building more vaults and stuffing them full of iron to keep it away from the bad guys.
Now for Section 2, playing blood detective.
This hidden defensive mechanism creates a huge challenge in modern medicine. If your blood iron is low, how do doctors know if you actually need an iron supplement because of a poor diet, or if your body is just successfully fighting off a hidden infection and purposefully hiding the iron? If a doctor just gives you more iron when you have an infection, they might accidentally feed the invading bacteria. No way we want that. To solve this, doctors have to act as medical detectives. They look at specific markers in your blood beyond just iron. They look at acute phase proteins like CRP and AGP. These are the alarm systems that spike when inflammation or infection is actively present. Then they look at serum TFR, or transferrin receptors. Think of TFR as a cellular hunger signal. When a cell is truly starved of iron, it puts thousands of these receptors on its surface, practically begging to catch any passing iron molecules.
And this clinical data from the World Health Organization brilliantly illustrates how to spot the difference. Notice the middle row. In anemia of chronic disease, hemoglobin and serum iron are low, but the ferritin vault is normal or high. The iron is safely locked away. And the cell's hunger signal, TFR, is normal because the cells know there's an intentional lockdown happening. But look at the top row. In true iron deficiency, the ferritin vault is completely empty, and those TFR hunger signals are incredibly high. This is exactly how doctors crack the case.
Moving on to Section 3, taking back your energy.
Once the detective work is done and true dietary iron deficiency is confirmed, it's time to take action, get your energy back, and rebuild those red blood cell cargo ships. The very first line of defense is your plate. You want to consume iron-rich foods, red meat, fish, eggs, and legumes like lentils and beans. But here's a critical biological life hack. Combining these iron-rich foods with vitamin C powerhouses like citrus, tomatoes, or green peppers dramatically boosts your gut's ability to absorb that iron. Seriously, a simple squeeze of lemon on your spinach literally changes the chemistry of absorption. However, you've got to be just as careful about what you consume with your iron. Certain foods and drinks act as iron blockers. The tannins in tea and coffee, phosphates in carbonated sodas, and antacid medications can temporarily block your body from absorbing that precious iron. Even calcium is a culprit. Medical experts highly recommend spacing your dairy intake, like milk or yogurt, at least 1 hour apart from your iron-rich meals or iron supplements.
Now, while a corrected diet and physician-directed supplements fix most mild cases, severe anemia is incredibly dangerous. It puts a massive strain on your heart as it pumps frantically trying to deliver oxygen that just isn't there. If you experience sudden, severe shortness of breath, chest pain, passing out, or an intense feeling of anxiety and impending doom, do not wait. This means your vital organs are suffocating and you need to get to an emergency room immediately.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. What is your body's exhaustion trying to tell you? We've seen that fatigue isn't always just a side effect of modern life. It might be your biological fortress sounding the alarm, locking the vault, and begging for oxygen. So the next time you feel that bone-deep tiredness, ask yourself, are you really listening to what your blood is saying? Keep learning, keep listening to your body, and we'll see you on the next explainer.